Stay tuned for your weekly news review on STVS.
Hello and welcome to your weekly news and review in English on STVS. I am your presenter, Sarona Norton. Children of the Kennedy Foundation with a hearing impairment took part in an art workshop last week. The theme of the workshop was Art and Deaf Friendliness. The initiative comes from the CompuAct Foundation in cooperation with the Kennedy School. The management of the school says that learning should be more pleasant for the children and that their individual talents should be part of the lessons. The director of CompuAct is Brian Sitaram. Because the initiative is for children with a hearing impairment, the transfer of knowledge took place through a skilled sign language interpreter. Friday, 27 September, was International Day of the Deaf. The Surinamese Police Force, KPS, is working on the elimination of the shortage of staff within the force with the training of more police officers. Apart from material, human resources are also necessary for the force to perform properly. On Thursday, September 26, more than 200 recruits were promoted to police officer first class, 153 to junior officer, and 6 to auxiliary officer. This is the first time that the force has recruited so many people nationwide in such a short time. In the past 2.5 years, more than 500 persons were hired by the KPS. The Minister of Justice and Police, Edward Belfort, was present and spoke to the promoted officers. With this significant growth of the KPS, it is expected that better results will be achieved in the tasks of the force, such as combating crime and road safety. Since Saturday, September 28, the District of Comowena has its own subsidiary of the Ministry of Spatial Planning, Land and Forest Management, ROGB. In the presence of Minister Stephen Relifeld, the subsidiary was opened. For the residents of this district, this new development is a relief. They were forced to travel to Paramaribo to take care of matters regarding their plots. According to District Commissioner Ingrid Karta Bink, the establishing of the subsidiary should help to resolve the land issue in the district. One of the things which brings ambiguities for many is the lack of a main chart at the office of the Commissioner. DC Bink says that these problems in her district finally have drawn attention. Minister Relifeld says he is familiar with a number of issues regarding plots in Comowena and promises to tackle these issues soon. He says that it is no use to look for what went wrong in the past. However, a solution should be found for these problems. It is most likely that the current Indonesian ambassador in Suriname, Nur Sahir Raharjo, will stay 6 months to 1 year longer in Suriname than his scheduled term. He mentioned that in an interview with the STVS News. The ambassador indicated that the relationship between Suriname and Indonesia are close. Every year, Indonesia tries to improve the political, economic, cultural, and commercial relations with Suriname. The Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia, organized in collaboration with the Association Commemoration Javanese Immigration, the Indo Fair for the 13th time. The fair was held on the premises of Sanya Budaya from September 21 to 28. Batik clothes, ceramics, vases, art products, Buddha statuettes, different kinds of furniture, wood carvings, and office furniture were on display and for sale. Also, local artists and cultural groups performed, and there were lots of Indonesian, Javanese dishes and other delicacies. The Indonesian ambassador expects Indo Fair will be even more successful in 2014. The annual budget speech by President Desiree Delano Baltasar on Monday was long awaited. In particular were the expectations of Rajkumar Ranjit Singh, the one with his well-known negativism, Carl Breveld with a moderate attitude and longing for the Anti-Corruption Act, which he has been asking attention for many years, and Ricardo Panca and Harish Manurath, who see positive developments in the current policy. In a not too long speech, President Bouterser talked about the policy plans, what has been achieved and what still needs to be achieved. Following his annual speech, the President offered the draft budget to the National Assembly. It is now up to both the opposition and the coalition to make a contribution to the further development of the country. One part of the boarding school in Achoni is officially transferred to Minister of Education Ashwin Adin. The compound is not completely delivered. Saturday, the handing over of 2 wings of the entire complex took place. However, it was not possible for the young people of the boarding school currently staying in Isado to return to their boarding school in Achoni on October 1. This because the Ministry of Education should organize the boarding school first. This commitment was made by the minister himself. According to the Minister of Public Works, Rabin Parmasar, more than 30 children may be placed in the new compound. The final building consists of 6 sleeping units, a guardhouse, kitchen and dining area, and a storage room. The construction of the boarding school is a long-cherished wish. However, there was talk of stagnation because the so-called sector fund does not have the financial resources. An official delivery is not possible yet. The 3rd block of the compound will be finished at the end of the calendar year. The Surinamese Photographers Association, SUPHOF, stages today, October 6, an anniversary photo exhibition in the conference hall under the name Beauty Through the Lens. This year, the association celebrates its 20th anniversary, and in that framework, it has a selection of works by SUPHOF members, honorary members, and SUPHOF Facebook members being exhibited. 4 photographers from Curaçao are also participating. Over 100 photos with different themes and photo techniques adorn the conference hall. 29 works of photographers were selected. Director Stanley Sidul of the Department of Culture in the Ministry of Education said in his opening statement that the Surinamese Photographers Association is important because of their courses, their exhibitions, and their contribution to the quality of photography in Suriname. The youngest exhibitor is Don Lau of 15 years, and the oldest is the 70-year-old Andre Schoonhoven. The photographic works, landscapes, cityscapes, flora, fauna, portraits, and abstracts show the artistic freedom of photography. The photos are for sale, and a portion of the proceeds from the sale will be donated to the National Kidney Dialysis Center for the purchase of a patient's monitor. Getting up early and traveling long distances are a thing of the past for the pupils of Mulo Henar in New Nikeri. Tuesday, the joy was so great among them because of their new school building. Several speakers pointed out the advantages of the new junior high or Mulo school for the district. The studies, that's the students and management, who are selected for the Mulo education in the Western Polders, find this progress quite positive. With the completion of this school, the government is getting closer to its main objective, which is to offer all students a place for learning, both in the cities and in the districts. Minister Ashwin Adin is positive of the contribution of the local community. This is a clear result of decentralization of governance. Nikeri is already working on development, and this is, according to the District Commissioner of Nikeri, Wed Prakash Julum Singh, accompanied by education of the youth who will have to govern the district in a few years. The school was built by the inmates of the penitentiary Hazard in Nikeri. Minister Edward Belfort noted that less prisons should be built so more space can be created for the construction of schools. That now takes us to the end of your weekly news in review in English on STVS. For more information, please visit our website. That's www.stvs.sr. I am Sarona Norton, thanking you for joining us.